What's up, y'all? Peace, love, and positive vibes to you and yours. Excuse me 1 second. I just want to switch my Facebook post to public. I did not do that last week and had people commenting, and I could not see their comments because I didn't switch it to public. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Monotfahme. It's Monotfahme Monday, y'all. It's great to see y'all back. It's great to have you back. Thank you for being here. We've been talking about like healing and stuff like that. And remember last week we were talking about meditation and I was telling you guys about this book, right? So I brought the book with me because I remembered. And I wanted to just show you real quick. So if you're interested, this is the book. And yeah, like I said, it was really dope. It really just kind of broke everything down for me and screenshot that or whatever. It just broke everything down, and I honestly never even fully finished the book. I felt super confident just from the stuff that I had read in it. I probably read like maybe half of it, and it's got all these different like techniques and stuff like that, which is really cool. You can check it out and see what works for you. There's probably some really dope things in here. Like I should continue to read the book. I should finish it. And maybe I will. Actually, you know what? I will. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to say I will because I don't want to try to do something. I'm either going to do it or I'm not. That's literally life. Like you're either going to do something or you're not going to do something. And only you can decide what that's going to be, whether you're going to do it or not. It's a choice. Which obviously, because we have to break everything down. Like there can be extenuating circumstances sometimes that prohibit us, like literally physically prohibit us from doing certain things. I get that, but I'm just speaking like, and that's a blanket statement that I made. So yeah, so today I want to talk about like the people that we allow into our lives and setting boundaries and what that looks like. Something that was kind of like came to me to say though is like, I don't ever want you guys to think that like I know everything and like I have it all together, right? You guys, I'm super not. Okay, I'm a regular person. I'm learning just like you guys are. And you may even be further in your journey than I am. And if you are, that's beautiful. I would love if you would share some tips with me because I love to learn and grow. But with that being said, like I'm growing too. So, I know that I need to use my voice and that my voice has to be heard. So I'm here to grow with you guys. I have grown a lot on my own. And what I'm coming to you with is like things that I learned in my journey thus far. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, do I know everything? Hell no. Do I have some knowledge? Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a nerd. I like to learn a lot. So I kind of really like to gain knowledge in the things that interest me a lot. So if I speak on something, there's a fair chance that I know at least what I'm speaking, what I'm saying, I at least know what I'm saying is correct for the most part. Again, I could be wrong. Like, and if I'm wrong, by all means, please feel free to tell me the real knowledge, the truth, or at least your version of it. I would love to hear that too. So with that being said, please don't ever just take anything that I say as like church. Always do your own research and always only hold on to the things that that you gravitate towards, the things that, mean something to you. Because those things are meant for you and everything else, just let it roll off your back like Rain-X, baby. So tonight we're going to talk about setting healthy boundaries and the importance of that. And also the company that we keep, the people that we have around us, the things that we allow in our lives, and the way that we allow people to treat us. Because all of these things are super, super important, and they are a big part about self-love. Like, it's major self-love to set a healthy boundary and like stick to it. That's the hard part. Okay? It's easy to be like, I'm not gonna allow dot 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 dot. The tough part is when dot 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 happens and you gotta go, nope, I'm not allowing that to happen, and you have to stand on it. Oof. That's the tough part. That's when all of your that's when all of the words that you have spoken are coming to fruition. And this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to really stand on that and to make good on it. And the tough, another tough part about that tough part is that you have to hold yourself accountable. Like, yeah, somebody who cares about you could be like, yo, remember you said dot dot dot, but you're the one who ultimately has to hold self accountable and has to put in that work and say, you know what? I said I wasn't going to do that. I said I wasn't going to allow that in my life. I said, whatever. I wasn't going to let that person speak to me that way anymore. I said I wasn't going to, whatever you said that you weren't going to, you were putting a boundary. You had made a boundary. Whatever that boundary was, now you're being tested in a sense, right? Right? When we speak words like, I'm going to do this and I am that, when you claim some shit, like, there's a chance you could be put to the test. I know I've been tested before. And have I always passed the test? Hell no. Hell no. I have not always passed the test. Okay. And you know what happens when you don't pass the test? You go back and learn again. So the quicker that we can realize that, oh, here's my test. I'm being held accountable right now. I'm being held to my word right now. Am I going to do it or not? That's all on you. That's part of holding, though, healthy boundaries. Now, we can all say it, but can you stick to it? And you can't just do it one time. You got to do it every time. Because don't think that just because you held your boundary one time, that whatever that was that's trying to overthrow your peace, or you think it's not going to come back? Oh, honey, it's going to come back. It's going to come back more than once. It's going to come back a few times. It's definitely going to come back a few times. It's going to give you a few opportunities to decide if you really mean that. If you really meant that boundary, if you really intend to keep that boundary, how much did that boundary really mean to you? It's holding you accountable. Now, if you have people around you that will hold you accountable like that, love them, thank them. They're amazing. They're great people. They really do love you. If somebody will hold you accountable for something that you said you wanted to do, or that you claim about yourself, and that's a good person to have around you, because that person actually does care about you. That person wants to see you grow and to be the best version of you. Also, I got to go back because I be getting deep. If it's one thing about me, I'm going to go deep. So one thing about that, though, is how did they say it? Man, it's never what you do or what you say, but how you do it and how you say it, because your approach on things will determine how greatly. Now, not completely 100%, but will determine greatly how something is perceived. I say not 100% because you never can control how another person perceives anything. People will take things how they take things for so many reasons that we can't even get into. There's too many variables to even name. But how did that person bring it up to you is important as well. But if they brought it up to you, obviously because they care, and how they brought it up was like a, remember you said this about you? Well, prove it. Right? Prove it. Show me. Show me that that's who you really are. And that could be their way of setting a boundary. And you should love that boundary because that's a beautiful boundary for someone to have. I am grateful for people in my life that hold me accountable. I just had this happen to me just the other day, as a matter of fact. Just the other day, I had somebody say something to me about myself and hold me accountable, and I was like, "Oh, shit." Are you holding me to my word and holding me accountable? Like, did you just check me? Like, but not in a disrespectful way. It was totally like like I said, in a way where it was like, oh, dang, you really just held me accountable in a healthy way. I like that. I appreciated that. I'll tell you what, though. I can't say that my entire life I would have always appreciated that. And that is part of growing. That's a part of growing. Sometimes it's hard to hear things about yourself that maybe you should be looking into. It's tough. It's tough sometimes to hear the truth about ourselves when the truth is maybe not how we perceive ourselves. You know, how somebody else perceives us isn't going to be how we perceive ourselves. The person that you look at in the mirror, the person that you make excuses for, the person that you cover up for, the person that you is not necessarily how everybody else sees you. You may think that you're like this kind, loving, sweet person, but every time you open your mouth, you have this, like, I don't know, holier than thou, stank, whatever you want to call it, kind of like you're checking people all the time, but not in a healthy way, not in a hold you accountable because I care about you and I want to see you grow kind of way. More in a I'm trying to one up you, or I think I'm better than you, or I'm judging you kind of way. You feel me? You got to be careful because your approach is going to be a very great amount of how somebody perceives what you do and say. But back to boundaries. So it's super important to be careful of the company that you keep. They say that the top 5 people that you have around you will determine your success, will determine a lot about you, will determine probably things that you're into, probably decisions that you make. If you look at the people that you keep around you, you will notice trends in things that they do that you do as well. And they could be positive things and they could not be positive things. Only you know that. If you're being honest with self, you have to always be honest with self. Because if you're going to be honest with anybody in this world, be honest with the person that you're with 24/7, 365, because all these other people could come and go out your life. As quickly as they come, boom, they can be gone again. And you will always be with you. So holding yourself accountable and being honest with yourself are super big, major things that you can do to love yourself. And they work with holding boundaries as well. Because if you're holding yourself accountable to these boundaries then that you're holding, then you'll be more successful in them. So the people that you hang out with, like, I want you to take, everybody should do this is your homework for the week. Like, take like a diagnostic of the people that you hang out with, the people that you spend the most time with, the people that you interact with the most. Sit down with a piece of paper if you have to, however you want to do it. I don't know, say it into a little microphone, let's make a little voice note. Whatever works for you, make a chart. I don't know. Draw a picture. Whatever works for you. But sit down with self and honestly analyze your relationships, the people that you hang out with the most, the people that you spend the most time with, the people that you talk to the most, the people that you interact with the most. And analyze what your relationship is with that person. How close are you to that person? Why are you friends with them? What is it about the friendship that keeps you there? What is it in the relationship that keeps you there? Is this person a positive in your life? Do you see yourself doing positive things that are helping you to be the best you when you're with these people, this person, each individual person? It's best to probably do them individually. And maybe collectively too, because here's the thing too, is sometimes when you get certain people, one person around uh, another person, these two people for some reason create, like, it's like a chemical reaction. Like, you could create gluten with certain things. Like, you create a chemical reaction with two people and they are totally different, separate. Like, if you're with this person, cool. If you're with that person, cool. But when you bring them together, woo, I don't know what happens, but it's like mixing baking soda and lemon juice or vinegar. you know Analyze your friendships, analyze your relationships with people. What's going on? Are they positive? Do you guys do things that you see yourself growing? Do you see yourself being friends with them in 5-10 years? Like, are they the type of person that is open-minded enough to grow as well? Like, those are things that you want to ask yourself about the people that you have around you. I want to say peace to you guys. Thank you guys so much for commenting. I really appreciate you guys being here and supporting and commenting. And I'm grateful that this is helpful to people. That's, if I help just one person, like, I'm happy. So thank you. Peace to you, Dominic. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Explode. Exactly. Sometimes it's wild. And it might not even be like a drama thing, but it might be like they're just wild when they're together, and like, you do wild shit with them. You know what I mean? You're like, normally I wouldn't do this type of wild ass shit, but I'm heavily influenced around these people. Like, sorry, it happens. It's reality. Like, that's reality, especially if we involve anything like alcohol or drugs. Like, now you're really talking about crazy stuff can go down. So anyways, analyzing your friendships and seeing like what kind of relationships you're having with these people, if they're positive, if you see yourself growing these relationships, can you have an open and honest relationship with the people that analyze these types of things, because it's important. Can that person come to you and tell you something about yourself? Can you go to that person and tell them something about themselves? Would you guys still be friends after that? Things like that are super important when you have people around you. When you want to talk, you want to think about the people around you. Do you guys talk about people, or do you guys talk about ideas? Are you guys thinking about ways to be successful in your life and better yourself and grow and I don't know, travel, do the things that you want to do in life that are like living life? Or do you guys just sit and talk about other people and what so and so did, and how so and so broke up, or they're fighting, or did you see what they posted on social media, or did you see how he was dressed or she was dressed, or like, blah blah fucking blah. Like, yuck. That's so gross. It's gross. Like it's sticky, it's nasty, it's heavy. You don't want to carry that shit around with you, okay? It's fucking gross. Don't carry that shit around with you. So if you have people around you that are doing that, be careful. Unless that's what you want for your life, unless that's a part of, yeah, like you're happy with that part of yourself and you think that's a good part of yourself. If you're happy with that part of yourself, you're comfortable with that, that's who you want to be. Don't I can't tell you no or not to be that way. But if you are on a path where you're like, I want to be more at peace, I want to have less drama in my life. I don't want to have as many altercations with people. I don't understand why I have such terrible relationships with people. These are things that could be influencing that. And this can help you to get rid of those things. So if you have people who are literally interjecting drama into your life, they're literally inserting drama into your life that is not your own. Because when someone is sitting there talking about other people and they're bringing it into your life, you have now got that energy. That energy is now knocking my tea over. That energy is now like boom in your life. Like you are absorbing that energy. Have you ever noticed when somebody gets like upset and they're like angry, right? And their voice gets very agitated and aggressive, and they're like their tone gets really aggressive, and they're just like, and this motherfucker, da, 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 and they're like talking about something dramatic, or maybe where people are fighting. Have you ever noticed that you get like tense wherever you feel your tension at, whether you clench your jaw or you feel it in your shoulders or you feel it in your knees? I don't know. Everybody's different. But you ever notice your energy shift and like you feel that tension? You feel that negativity? It's heavy, right? You can feel it. You can feel it in the room. You could feel it on you because it's on you. Like literally, it holds a vibration. So even though it had nothing to do with your life, it had nothing to do with you, you were in no way, shape, or form involved, right? You're absorbing the energy from it anyway. And that energy is affecting you and affecting your life. And if you are taking in that energy on a consistent and constant basis, imagine the effects that this is having on your life on a day-to-day basis, right? Okay. So this is why the people that we keep around us are very important. It's important to know if we are keeping the proper people around us, and you can tell by things like that. Social media is the devil most times, LOL, a distraction, I shall say. Definitely. Yo, that's another thing too, is like you could consider social media as a person that you keep around you, because that is its own entity, and how you interact on social media will determine what you see on your timelines. So like who you interact with the most, I believe it's the top 7, unless they've changed the algorithms, because I haven't read the most recent updated algorithms. But the algorithms, the last time I read them, were that the top 7% of the people who you interact with the most are the people who that you will see the most on your timeline. So even though you have 1,000 people on your timeline, you're only going to see like 70. Is that 7%, y'all? Yeah, 70. You're only going to see 70 people. Like, I think that's don't judge me. That I think that might be 10% actually. Or no, that's 7%. I don't know. I'm my maths. Yeah, not math. I'm not a math teacher. Okay, so um anyways, you will only see the top 7% of the people that you interact with on a regular basis. And that goes as far as like the types of things you interact with as well. So if you notice, you can literally change your timeline. And I'm going to show you how. If right now you're seeing a lot of negative stuff on your timeline and things that like you don't want to see, because like when you go to your timeline, you want to see things that reflect you or represent you, or that you feel comfortable with, or that are interesting to you. If you're tired of seeing negative things or a bunch of just stuff that doesn't matter to you, or is just not positive in your life, and you're trying to change that. Like if you're on a path right now where you just started and you're trying to change your life in a more peaceful, positive manner, you don't want to see a bunch of fight videos. You don't want to see a bunch of drama. You don't want to see a bunch of that stuff. That's not positive, and it does affect you. It absolutely does. It holds a vibration. It does affect you. So you can start right now, today, changing your algorithms. And how you change your algorithms is by stopping interacting with the things that you don't want to see anymore. Don't even look at them, because here's the thing is, if you stop on something and you stare at it and you read it or you watch it or whatever, even if you don't like it or share it or comment on it, they know how long you sat on it, and that's still an interaction. Okay? And that goes for any post. If you sit on it, it's still an interaction. Okay. So with that being said, don't stop on things that you don't want to see anymore. Don't watch them. Don't like them. Don't comment on them. I understand it makes you angry. I understand it makes you sad. I understand that you have something to say about it. Don't. Just don't. What you need to do now is once you see things that you want to see on your timeline, or even search them. If you're not seeing the things on your timeline that you want to see, if you want to see positive quotes, say for example, you want to see inspirational quotes on your timeline and you haven't been seeing that type of stuff. Facebook is amazing. Instagram's amazing. Twitter's amazing. Go to the little search engine on there, the little eyeglass, the little searchy guy, and type in inspirational quotes if you want to see that. You want to say fishing stuff, type in fisherman or fishing or bass fishing or whatever, right? Type that in. Boom. Like some of that stuff. Heart some of that stuff. Maybe comment, oh, I love huge fish. That's amazing. Comment on it. Interact with these things. Watch some of these videos. Read the little memes. Share it maybe. These types of things will change your algorithms. Now that you know that, you can go like some things that you actually want to see on your timeline. And then when you see those things, at least for a little while, interact with them. Like, you don't have to say anything on there, but heart it or like it. I'm a heart person. I'm either laughing or love it. If I don't laugh it or love it, then it's a rare situation where I put an angry face or a sad face. I definitely don't do the care one because I don't know. I have this weird thing about that. I don't like the care one. I'm super opposed to it. I would have rather had a rolling eye emoji or a side eye emoji or something. Like, the care one is super cheese to me and I just don't like it. But I use the heart and I use the laughing emoji. Like, I'm either laughing or loving, for real. So heart your stuff or like it if you like to like stuff. Laugh at it. Interact with the things that you do want to see on your timeline. Interact with the people that you do want to see on your timeline. Go like some of their last posts. Maybe write a comment on one of their last posts or a couple posts so that the algorithms will start to shift. And then when they do pop up on your timeline, because it still might not be very often, but when they do pop up on your timeline, interact with the post or go to their page and see if they've posted something else that you want to interact with, so that you can get that person to pop up or that thing to pop up on your timeline more often, because the more you interact with things, the more you'll see them, positive or negative. It's your choice. It's your choice. But that's also a boundary, and that's also holding yourself accountable, because if you really want to change your life to be more positive and more peaceful, you have to really make the changes. You have to really make the changes, and they can be challenging sometimes. They can be challenging sometimes in a sense that, it's easy to slide back in to old ways. It's more challenging to make changes in yourself to better yourself. It's a little more difficult. It's a lot more difficult in some ways to make yourself to better yourself, to become a better version of yourself, because you have to really actually put in work and you have to really want it. And like we just said earlier, you got to hold yourself accountable. Holding yourself accountable is tough, man. I know I let myself slide sometimes. I'd be like, ugh, whatever. Like I want to meditate and do yoga like every single day, but and I've been meditating on Instagram with my friends on Instagram, and like I missed today, and I think I missed Friday. See what I'm saying? Like it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But once you start doing it and once you get yourself into a swing of it, it's easier, and it becomes easier and easier as time goes on. And before you know it, it's just a part of who you are. And same with holding boundaries and setting boundaries with people. So once you realize the people that you have in your life and you decided if they're positive or negative in your life, only you know that, you can now decide how much energy you want to give that person. It's important that you hold your energy sacred. Like your energy is super sacred, you guys. And it's important that you honor it and you always have the utmost respect for yourself and for yourself, because yourself is the energy inside this right here. This is just it's just a nice little box to carry you in. It is. It really is. You is inside of here. You are this beautiful energy. Like, yes. So you have to really nurture that and take care of that. And when you decide the people around you, if they are nurturing themselves in that manner, it's important. If they're not nurturing themselves in that manner, how can they possibly have a healthy relationship with you? Now, does this mean that everybody around you is healed and perfect and they got all their shit together? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Because we are forever, forever, forever growing. Like until the day that you stop walking this earth, you should be growing and looking to be the best version of self at that moment possible. I I feel like that changes every single day. Like sometimes we take a couple steps backwards. Like you can either stay in that couple steps backwards. That's the thing. Is tomorrow, are you going to be a couple steps backwards that you were yesterday? Or today, are you going to decide that you're going to not only move them 2 steps forward again, but you're also going to move another step. So you're going to go 3. So you're going to become not only what you were the day before, but better. That is a choice that you have to decide for yourself. And I feel like that we are going to do that forever for the rest of our lives. It's always going to be this like melodic dance between some things that we want that aren't necessarily the best for us and the things that are the best for us, and letting go of those things that are not the best for us so that the things that are the best for us have a space. The longer that you hold on to people and situations that are not aligned with becoming the best version of yourself, the longer it's going to be until I just said 33:55. The longer it's going to be until you can allow that new better things for you, for the higher version that you're becoming, to come in. You're holding a space. You're holding something there that it doesn't belong there anymore. It doesn't fit there anymore. It's not you anymore. It's who you used to be. But you're growing past that now. You're bigger than that now. Your energy is shining brighter than that now. You are shining brighter than that now. Your light is brighter than that now. You can't hold space for that stuff anymore. You got to let it go. It's time to let it go. And it's tough. It's super tough. It's really tough when it's a person that you love so much. That's really tough. I mean, I guess I can't say that it's not super tough when it's a situation too. Sometimes we have jobs that we love, or we live in an area that we love, but it's time to go because our career is moving us forward to somewhere else, and it's tough to leave behind everything that you've known for either your whole life or for the last X amount of years. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's tough to leave those things behind. But the longer that you hold yourself in a space that you've grown out of, the longer it's going to be until you can just move into your new shell. Like, imagine a snail that never got out of its original little teeny tiny itty bitty shell. That mug gonna have a shell on on one of his little antenna, his little tippy of his little slugness. You know? Snailness. Yeah. You got to let things go. When you let that go, that space opens up. Now when that space is opened up, now you can get that space ready. You can dust it up, you can clean it up, you can hang up new pictures, whatever. You can make it presentable and ready for what you're opening it up for the things that you're expecting to come into your life, for the new version of self, for the greater, the next greater version of self, the self that you've grown into. Now that all the things that you deserve, that the universe has been waiting to give to you, can come in, whether they be situations or people. Sometimes it's people too. Losing people is tough. Losing people is tough, whether they pass away or whether they're alive. It's still a mourning process, and everybody mourns differently. And people can look like they're just fine and seem like they're just fine, but on the inside can be in a billion trillion little pieces, shattered. Seriously. And you have to let yourself mourn situations. It's okay to feel sad about letting go of where you used to live. It's okay to feel sad about letting go of a friend or separating yourself from a toxic family member. It's okay to feel sad about letting go of a job and moving on to a new one, a career and moving on to a new one. It's okay. It's normal to mourn these things. It's important to mourn these things. You have to allow yourself to feel things so that you can heal through them. Trying to get past a fear of losing people. I lost a few in a short time. Yeah, that's tough. It's super tough. And I mean, I can't possibly even know what it means to you or what it feels like to you or what you personally are going through. But I will say that take your time. Allow yourself to feel the things that you feel. Like, your feelings are valid. Like, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel betrayed. It's okay to feel whatever you feel. Like, you you're okay to go through that. Like, let yourself go through that. Just remember to not stay there. Don't stay there. At some point, you have to say, you know what? There has to be a turn of acceptance. And that doesn't mean, that does not mean that all of a sudden the pain just goes away and you never feel sad or hurt or miss them or anything like that again, because you absolutely will. Of course you will. You're going to think about a memory or something might, pop up in your life that you're like, oh man, so-and-so would have loved that. Take that moment and that opportunity to use it as a celebratory moment where you celebrate that moment with that person. Like, wow, it's like you're here with me anyways. So you got to enjoy this with me because through me, you enjoyed this. That's why it's really important too to really just love and appreciate the people that we have in our lives while we have them in our lives. It's super important. It's like imperative. It's imperative to let people know that they mean something to you and that they're important to you, because when you can't tell them anymore, you're really going to wish you could have. You're really going to wish you could. And people need to hear sometimes that they're important, that they're appreciated, that they're loved. Even if they never say that they need to hear it, it has an effect on people. It's heartwarming. It makes them feel good. And not hearing it can have the opposite effect. Not hearing it, and even though they want to hear it, they may not tell you they want to hear it, but maybe they want to hear it. And they don't tell you that, but they're still affected by the fact that you're not saying it. Even though you don't know that. We don't always know what people need. You know what I mean? Which is why communication is so important with the people that you have in your life. But if someone doesn't tell you that they need to be told that they're appreciated, it doesn't matter. You should still always tell people that they're appreciated whenever you get a chance to, or when you think about it. You don't have to do it like every second. I appreciate you. But like, it's nice to hear sometimes. You feel me? And people like to hear it. And when they don't hear it and they wanted to hear it or they needed to hear it, it can be damaging, and it can damage y'all's relationship. Like, women love to be told that they're beautiful. We do. Some of us like it more than others. Some women need to be told that they're beautiful every single day. They need that reassurance. They need those words said to them. And men too, not just women. Some men want to be told that they're handsome or that they're attractive or they're beautiful. Maybe you want to be told you're beautiful too. Who am I to judge? But people like to be told that they're attractive to you, whatever their gender, they're attractive to you. And if you don't ever say it, it can be like, dang, do they even think I'm attractive? Like, and they may not ever tell you that they want to hear you say it, but trust me, people like to be attractive to the person that they're involved with or that they're around, that they're dealing with in that manner. Like, people want to be told that they're attractive. You are beautiful, Christopher. You're absolutely beautiful, 100%. And I love you very much. And I'm super grateful for you. And I'm so sorry that my eyebrows intimidate you. You're hilarious, man. I do have so much fun with you. So make sure that you just show your appreciation and love for the people that you have in your life, y'all, especially the people that you've deemed to be like positives in your life. Once you sit down with self and decide like, how are people affecting my life? How do you feel after you've hung out with somebody? Like, that's another way you can analyze the people in your life. How do you feel after you talk to that person, when you get off the phone with that person, when you're around that person, you guys go have lunch or hang out or whatever. When you leave, how do you feel? Like, do you feel drained? Do you feel like meh? Do you feel like tense? Do you feel negative? Does it feel like negativity? Do you feel like positive? Do you feel happy? Do you feel energetic? Do you feel like inspired? Which way do you want to feel? It's your choice. Which way do you want to feel? You get to choose that. You get to decide that. So pay attention to that in the humans, in the interactions that you have, people that you have around you. Because if people are draining you of your energy, it's not a good thing. It's not good. And you do not necessarily want people around you that are draining your energy. You can also protect yourself from people draining your energy if you do decide that that person is not necessarily someone that you want to get rid of out of your life, but they do kind of suck your energy. You can block them from sucking your energy. You can literally put a layer of protection around you and block people's energy, block people from sucking your energy. I talked about it in a video. What was it, last week? Or was it the week before that? Yep. You can block people's energy and you choose and decide how much of yourself to give to people, you guys. You definitely do. And that's a part of holding yourself accountable and setting boundaries is you have to decide how much energy to give to people and make that decision off of what kind of person is that in your life. If it's somebody that's positive, yeah, cool. You definitely obviously want to share more of your energy with that person because that person reciprocates the energy. Like you guys are like this. You're throwing energy, they're throwing energy back. You're throwing energy, they're throwing it. It's like this beautiful like symbiosis. It's like the eternity symbol. Like you're constantly regenerating each other. There isn't a one-way charge being pulled. It's being reciprocated. Now, if somebody's just sucking all your energy and draining you, oof, sheesh. How can you possibly have enough energy and the things that you need for your own life to be able to move forward and to be the best version of you? How can you make the moves in your life that you want to make? How can you be the best parent or the best partner or the best I don't know, teacher, healer? How can you be the best version of you if you just are giving all of your energy away to people who are not reciprocating that? They're just sucking it all out. Energy vampires. They just suck all the energy from people. You don't want people like that in your life. You feel like I'm robbing you. Well, you better block my energy there because I don't know how, because I have so much energy inside myself. I can't even imagine attempting to take another person's energy. I have made the choice to be around the people who make me feel inspired, but it took time to get away from the people who drain me. Yes, absolutely does. And kudos to you for that, because that is a great, great choice to make for self. That's why we're talking about it today, because I feel very adamantly about the people that you keep around you. I, in my own life, used to literally keep people around me that I didn't even like. I had no boundaries in real life. I literally at that for like the first X amount of years, we won't even get into that, of my life, of this life in this flesh, I had no boundaries, like none, barely. I would try to hold boundaries. I would want boundaries. I would exclaim boundaries. I would tell myself that I was going to not let this happen again, or that person wasn't going to do this or say this to me again, or I wasn't going to do that or do this again. But I never held self accountable. I didn't, I didn't hold those boundaries that I had set when the time came. That's why I'm talking to you guys about that today and telling you I'm speaking from experience. I did this. And to this day, I still have to hold myself accountable to hold boundaries sometimes. I mean, obviously, all the time. Always we have to hold ourselves accountable because you always have a choice. You can either slack on that boundary and say, well, today I'm going to let so and so be toxic with me. Fuck it. That's your choice. But know that when you do that, tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more difficult to hold that boundary for both of you. Because here's the thing is, when you let a boundary slide between you and another person, let's just say, when you let a boundary slide between you and another person, that means the next time that comes around, they're going to think that you might let that boundary slide again. You just might let me get away with it again this time. I mean, I know a couple times you didn't, whatever, you held your little boundary or whatever, but you might let me slide this time. And if you don't let me slide right away, I might just apply a little more pressure and then maybe you'll let me slide. Like, that's what happens, is because we teach people that, yeah, you can get this from me because we give it to them. You can get this from me. You get this version of me. You have this. I'm giving you this energy. I'm giving you this part of me. It's up to you to decide if that's a healthy amount of you to give to somebody or not. And sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes people get nothing of you. Because here's the thing, it doesn't make them a bad person, but maybe they're not good for you. People can be amazing people and still not be good for you in your journey, in your path, and not aligned with what you have to do and what you have going on. And some people can be amazing people and still be like toxic to your mental health. Just because somebody's not good for you doesn't mean they're not a good person. And that's something that we have to remember in our own lives and when we look at other people. Like, you don't look at other people and be like, oh, well, so-and-so don't fuck with them, so obviously they're not to be fucked with. That's not necessarily the case. Maybe those two aren't good together, but you guys might be able to be friends or business associates or whatever the case may be. If you're friends with somebody and say it's we all three used to be friends, and you guys could still be friends and we might not get along, but I'm cool with you and y'all are cool, that's fine. Now, if you want to start talking about my life to that person and I don't fuck with that person, now that's a different, we're stepping into a whole nother realm right there. But we're talking about healthy relationships here where people are not going behind each other's backs and playing double agents, because that's a whole different, then you gotta really, now you shouldn't be friends with either of those people then. If that's the case, that person's a double agent, they're not your friend. They're not your friend. And know that if you're on the other side of that and they're talking shit about me to you, they're probably talking shit about you to me. If I allow it. Which, that's your choice. If you allow people to talk badly about other people in your presence, that's a boundary that you can set. Like, yeah, I don't do that negative. I don't do the talking down about other people thing. And that's a beautiful fucking boundary. That is a beautiful boundary. And more of us should hold that boundary, honestly. Closed door meetings. Yeah. That's a beautiful boundary to have, to say that this is not a safe space to just talk shit about other people. Because, like, Like I was saying earlier, do you really want that negativity in your life? It's not yours to even hold. It's not yours. So why would you want to allow it into your space? You're creating a positive, peaceful world for yourself to live in so that you can be a positive, peaceful entity in the world. And the more of us that there are, the more of us radiate this love and this peace and this positivity, the more that we can radiate it onto other people and pass it along, right? So you have to hold yourself to that. You have to make that choice. You have to make that choice if you're going to allow people to bring that negativity into your life, knowing that it will affect you, because it does absolutely 100% affect you. It does. It does. Notice how when you get off the phone with somebody who's told you some amazing news, who said something inspiring to you, who maybe gave you a pat on the back and said, "Oh my God, I loved that thing that you did," whatever it may be. Maybe you cooked something amazing or you posted something funny, or I don't know. I shoot videos. Maybe somebody loved my video and they said, "Oh my God, that video was so dope." Like that would make me feel really good, right? So when you get off the phone with somebody who said something that made you feel good, how do you feel? Don't you feel amazing? Don't you feel light? Don't you feel like uplifted? Don't you feel like you're glowing? Don't you feel like on top of the world? Don't you want to pour that onto other people when you feel like that? You want to like share that. You want to like spread that. Negativity works the same way. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Somebody gets on the phone with you and tells you a whole bunch of negative shit, right? You get off the phone feeling irritated, agitated, negative. Your partner says something to you. You snap at them. Your child does something. You snap at them. Now you have created a spark of negativity, this ball rolling, this snowball that's going to get huge of negativity spewing through your life and through your home and through the other people. Now you're not just affecting you. You're affecting the people around you now as well. Or the opposite can be true. You cannot allow those things into your life. Yeah, I know. I understand that so and so, like, maybe that upsets you that they did that, but I don't want to talk about that. I don't allow that kind of stuff in my life. I don't even know so and so, or yeah, that doesn't affect me. I don't know what to tell you. You could shut that shit down and should. Tell you one of two things is going to happen. Both are perfect, both are positive, and both are fabulous. They're either going to stop talking about that shit around you, or they're going to leave you the fuck alone altogether. They're either going to stop talking about that shit around you, or they're just going to get out of your life altogether because you don't align with their toxicity. And you know what happens? It happens both ways. When you don't want to be around somebody because it feels gross, because they're negative and they're toxic as fuck, you get away from it. It feels gross. You start to be like, ew, I don't want this around me anymore. Well, toxic feels the same way. Like, toxic people, or I know people say that term is overused, but what do you want me to say? People who like fucking negative shit, drama queens, dramatic people. What? Toxic people can't stand positivity. That shit is so annoying to them. Have you ever seen somebody that's like, all you peace, positive vibes, motherfuckers? That person probably is very unhappy in their life. I bet they love drama though. I bet if a positive person, instead of saying positive vibes, posted some negative shit or posted a fight video, that person would be elated. They don't like positive, so they have a tendency to get away from you. And like you said, Christopher, it's a win-win. Either they're gonna stop talking about that shit or they're gonna get the fuck from around you. And either way, thank you. Peace. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. It's a boundary, right? It's a boundary. And it's a beautiful boundary that we get to set. You get to decide if you want that stuff in your life or not. You get to decide. Pay attention to how people celebrate themselves. Pay attention to how people celebrate other people. Pay attention to how the people around you celebrate you. When you say something amazing that happened in your life or something that's happened to you, maybe you made it through a hurdle that you've been having challenges with, how do they react to that? Are they happy for you? Do they try to pull you back into your bullshit? Girl, boo, you're never going to stay like that. Girl, boo, come on, let's go have a drink. When you're trying to quit drinking or you've quit drinking, you've made that goal, you've set that goal. Those are the people that are not supposed to be part of the next step in your life. Those are the people that are you have fallen out of alignment with you. You are moving this way and they're still down here doing this stuff. They're not ready to move on yet. And that's okay. That doesn't mean they never will. And that doesn't mean that you guys can't meet up again sometime later on when they've grown a little bit too. Excuse me, they may thank you. They might come back and thank you. Like, yo, you opened my eyes to some shit that I never even thought of. That I didn't even know about myself. Like, you checked me on something about myself that, yo, that was tough to hear, but when I really started thinking about it, you were right. Sometimes holding boundaries helps the people that you're holding boundaries with to grow too. It definitely helps you grow. But sometimes you help other people grow with that too. You teach them how to be a better version of themselves. You teach them like, I don't accept this for myself. Makes them question, should they accept it for themselves? No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't accept that for yourself either. You deserve so much better. You do. The more of us that are loving ourselves and loving each other and growing and trying to be the best version of ourselves every day, the better. Because that means that we can spread all this love to other people. Imagine a world where people really did honestly have compassion and love and respect and care for one another. It's a real thing, and we are creating it right now. We are creating it. We are the change. It's us. It's us. So let's do this. Okay? We got this. You guys got this. We're strong, okay? We got this. The more that you take care of self and love self and grow self, the better. The more that we can do it with each other, okay? So take that step. Take your time this week to to write down and go through your relationships and the people that you have around you and find out, get to the core of what's going on in your life. Who stays, who goes, how much energy do you give to each person? How much of self do you give to each person? That's your assignment for the week, guys. I'm so proud of you for making these moves and taking these steps and growing every day. And just know that it's okay if you mess up sometimes. It's okay if you didn't hold a boundary where you meant to. Don't beat yourself up about it. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Be honest with yourself. Acknowledge it. Say, you know what? Dang it. I should have ... I knew I was supposed to ... I let ... happen. and be better next time. Stand up for yourself next time. Hold that boundary next time. If you can change it right in the moment, do it. If you can change it right then, you know what? Actually, no. Actually, no. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I said that I would come get you, but I told myself I wasn't going to do that anymore. So I'm not going to go get them. I'm not going to pick them up. I said I wasn't going to do that anymore. You know what? I can't come get you. I'm not coming to get you. You're going to have to find somebody else. Change it right then and there. Absolutely. Acknowledge, but you don't have to give it power. Thank you, Christina. Beautifully said. You can always acknowledge it, but you don't have to give it power. You don't have to keep giving your energy to it. You can stop it right then and there. It's not. Sometimes it's too late. Sometimes we already said the thing we told ourselves we weren't going to say anymore. But then you know what? Cancel that. I do not consent. Those work greatly. If it's something you said to somebody, you told them you weren't going to do anymore. You know what? I apologize for saying that. I don't mean that. This is what I mean. Change it. Change it. Take those steps, those moves. You're worth it. You're absolutely worth it. 100%. I promise you, you are. And in time, all of those things will just be like second nature. You won't even think about it. Doesn't mean you'll never mess up. Doesn't mean you won't slack off on something. It just means that you will be able to hold yourself accountable instantaneously for it. You will be able to say, shoot, I did it. You know what? Boom. And it'll be comfortable for you. Because at first it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Growth is a little uncomfortable sometimes. You're doing something different, something you've never done before. You have lived X amount of years in the as the person that you are. And let me tell you, it took you all those years to get to be the person you are at this very moment right now. So it's going to take a little time to undo some things, to rewire some things, to change some things. Just be patient with yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Be honest with yourself. Discipline yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Don't beat yourself up, though. There's a difference between disciplining and holding yourself accountable and beating yourself up about something. Do not beat yourself up about something. Sitting there and just, God, you're so, I can't believe, you're so, going on and berating yourself is not, that's not love. That's not how you want to handle it. Understand that you might mess up. Understand that you might take a step backwards. It's okay. Tomorrow you can take 2 steps forward. The only thing guaranteed in life is change. We have a choice to let it propel us or paralyze us. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Change is inevitable and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Allow the change to happen. The change is always to better us. It's always to better us. We are always in our path for the best version of ourselves. Even if it doesn't look like, sometimes it, like we've talked about this before, sometimes it feels like, nah, this is not comfortable. I don't like this. This seems like a terrible situation. Sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes it looks like that. It's not. It's not. You're being pushed out of your comfort zone for a reason. That comfort zone was not where you were supposed to be anymore. It no longer fits you. You have outgrown it. And your next stage is even better. So this is a little bit big, but put it on. Don't worry. You'll grow into it. It's a little uncomfortable. It's a little awkward. And in no time, you're going to grow into it. It's going to feel good. It's going to be perfectly fit. And then it's going to get snug too. And you're going to grow out of that too. It's going to get too small. Situations will constantly show up in different people until we learn the life lesson. Yes, yes. I was saying that earlier too. Like you will repeat. Your happiness on the other side of fear. Yes. Don't fear. Don't let fear get you. Fear has a way, man, of trying to trick you into staying right where you are because that sounds weird and uncomfortable. But what did we just say? Becoming the best version of you, growing is a little uncomfortable sometimes. It's a little big, but don't worry. You're going to grow into it. Just put it on. Just do it. I love y'all so much. So take this week, analyze your relationships, see where they're at. How are they benefiting and harming your life, your peace, your growth? Are they aligned with who you see yourself to be? Maybe not even just right now, but who you are, who are you are growing into? Like, can you grow with these people? Are they trying to hold you back? Do they try to propel you back into things that you don't want to do anymore? Those things are really important. And if you can say that someone is willing to grow with you, if you can say that person is going to hold you accountable and love you and push you, that's good. Keep those people around you. I'm grateful for every person in my life that holds me accountable and helps me to be the best version of me. Y'all are amazing. All of you out there are amazing too. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming through tonight and kicking it with me on this Monotfahme Monday. We're growing together, y'all. So come grow with me. Come back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right here, wherever you tuned in at, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. I'm here. So come back and hang out with me. We're going to be talking about some more healing stuff. Whatever is brought to me. You guys, I never decide exactly what I'm going to say or even necessarily what I'm going to talk about until I get here. And today I just knew I wanted to talk about boundaries and about people in our lives. And this is what we got. So I hope it was beneficial to anyone and everyone who got to hear it today. And thank yourself for showing up today. Give yourself a hug. Thank yourself. And love on yourself. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Peace, love, and positive vibes to you guys. I will see you next Monday back here on Monotfahme. If you guys want to follow me, my name is Melody Waters. I'm not hard to find. You can check me out anywhere at I am Melody Waters. You can follow Monotfahme. I'm going to get some shorties up and get some links to the YouTube channel going on my Instagram here. But everywhere is Monotfahme. You guys can check it out. It's spelled Monotfahme, just like you see. So come back and see me on Monday. I'll see you guys. Have a great week. Peace to y'all. Peace.